It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and I want to start off by wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope you all have a lovely relaxing time. Put your feet up and pour a beer. I'm filming this on the 24th of December 2024, Christmas Eve. It's currently 1:30, nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun is behind all of these clouds here, and it's quite misty, and it's quite murky, and it's quite dank and drizzly. I'm of course filming today. Why not? There's going to be a Christmas special on tonight of Gavin and Stacey. So I thought I'd bring you a little look at Barry Island and what I remember of it. So believe it or not, here on this space here used to be a nightclub cabaret bar called KR's. KR's was just there, and you used to be able to get chicken in a basket and chips for 15 quid, and that would come with a night of cabaret. I'm just going down to see. It's probably not open, but as far as I'm concerned, when I was a youngster, there used to be a big wooden roller coaster, and I believe it was by here. But of course they put another roller coaster in place where it should have been, really, because the previous owner who had Barry Island built a lot of buildings in there. He built a lot of shops and whatnot. Yeah, it's closed. It is Christmas Eve. I can't imagine a lot of people want to go on the rides at Christmas Eve today. It's fantastic in the summer though, it really is. So we're just going to walk down now. I'm going to show you some of the pubs and bars of Barry Island, just in case a few of you want to come down and enjoy Barry Island. People enjoying their fish and chips. Right, so here is Barry Island train station. So the train station is right on Barry Island if you want to come over and visit the place. It's been quite popular since Gavin and Stacey started with this Christmas special 2024. There's a bit of a buzz. There is a bit of a buzz around Barry Island. We are going to be having a pint. I've got in my rucksack a pint glass and a can of beer. But I just wanted to show you this. But we have a quasar. I just want to show you this place, because this place used to be called the Acropolis, and it was a nightclub for many years. Pool table in there. It's now called Finnegan's Inn, but I used to, so the nightclub part was here of the Acropolis. All of this part here used to be kind of like discos and stuff. Now it's been turned into a bit of a kind of chip shop restaurant. But this used to be the dance floor of the nightclub, and then this used to be the outside area. This used to be the outside area where we'd be out here, oh, in my 20s, 25 years ago, we'd be out here in this little patch here till about 3 o'clock in the morning, drinking, enjoying ourselves. Kind of, you got the beach just over there. So this is Finnegan's Inn and Char Grill now. It's not a nightclub anymore. Let's run across the road. You got the Barry Island's famous arcades over here. Stardust. And we have a Greggs, which I don't really think we need a Greggs. We got a Casper's Desserts. I don't really think we need a Casper's Desserts, in all honesty. Why come to Barry Island and have a Greggs when you can have fish and chips from the Royal Cafe over there? It's the winter, so I'm presuming they've shut the rides down for a bit, but they're working hard on this. They're working really hard on the fairground to bring in better rides every single year. I'm just going to show you. It might be closed. It looks like it's closed, believe it or not. Another pub in Barry that we drink in. Hello. How you doing? You alright? Is the beer keller. People are very friendly too. People will always wave and say hello in Barry. It's just one of those really friendly places. So oh, is the beer cellar open? So this is this place. This is a really interesting place. I'll just stand in the beer garden of it, because Dimes Arcade, which is there, the previous owner of Dimes Arcade used to store his arcade machines in the beer cellar, and he didn't use it as a pub. Basically, the previous owner locked it up in the 1970s and left it, didn't touch it for 40-50 years. So when the new owners took over the arcade, they went downstairs to see what was going on down here, and they found this. Basically they found this, and well, it's really interesting because it's like a proper old beer cellar. Have a look at this. This is what they found. They found this whole German themed bar down here with kegs and lovely benches, and the pub over there. Absolutely wonderful. Hi guys, how's it going? Right, let's get out of here before we get monetized. Rocking around the Christmas tree. Oops, sorry mate. Okay, so right, let's get out of here. That's another place, and then if we move down further on, there's more arcades there. We move further on down, there's a place called Enzo's, which, to be honest with you, this is, since I've had children, since I've had kids, this has opened, and I've not really been here at all, to be honest with you. But it's a little kind of outside bar. But I used to drink in here, another nightclub, and this used to be called the Merry Friars, or what they call it, Easy 2 had become in the end. It's now blooming 6 luxury apartments up there, which they're trying to sell for 400 grand a piece, which is quite amazing really. We are now moving towards the famous Gavin and Stacey. You might start to recognise this bit now, with Gavin and Stacey, if you're watching the programme tonight, because I'm airing this on Christmas Day 2025. You might start to see that's where Stacey's kind of cafe is, Marco's cafe. Very popular all year round, that place, with dog owners, dog walkers, coffees and bacon sandwiches. All the dogs are allowed in there, so it's quite a popular thing. But I'm imagining even on Christmas Eve, look, there's lots of people about, bumbling about. You can see them all having their pictures over there with Gavin and Stacey and Bryn and Nessa. Sun is trying to poke through, look, trying to get rid of this mist. And here's the shelters. This is where, when they pan out on the beach, when they pan out, I think it was the end of series 1 or the end of series 2, where they pan out. They got a drone, I think, and they're flying a drone out there, and they're panning out from this undercover promenade thing. Of course, Christmas Eve. I'm surprised one of the fish shops are not open. Quite like Boofy's. I think O'Shea's is a bit better. Another amusement arcade, ice cream place down the bottom, table and chairs there in the summer. Right, so this is the main promenade. You can see again, lots this time of year, lots of dog walkers. We had that major storm, didn't we, a couple of weeks back, and you got a load of blooming trees and stuff on the beach these days. But yeah, lots of people about. What we're going to do, see that point up there, I'm going to go up there now, or maybe I'll go, that one's busy, so we'll go over to this point here. I'll cut the camera now, and then we will grab a beer, and I'll talk a little bit about kind of my life in Barry, and what have I done, and you know, I've been here all my life type of thing. Right, let's get over to that point, and I'll see you all in a moment. While we're making our way to the point over there, I just wanted to bring the attention to this place up here. This used to be called, now we're at the back now of the fairground. We basically walked all the way around. Lots of places for ice cream. Obviously Christmas Eve, not open this time of year. But this used to be called the Dolphin. In fact, there's still a dolphin on the outside of this building here. So the Dolphin nightclub used to be a nightclub which again I used to go to. Used to love my nightclubs. There used to be about 3 or 4 nightclubs over Barry Island, all open till about 2 or 3 in the morning. Used to have your vodka Red Bulls, and I was in my very early 20s here, so you had that place there. But say if you you know, being a nightclub, say if somebody took an interest in you in there, then I never did it. I was a young man once, but I never did it. But you used to leave the nightclub and then you used to take your newly found partner, or you know, maybe newly found girlfriend, or maybe if it's just for the one night type of thing. It wasn't too far from the beach, so you go down the beach, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning when the nightclub's finished and closed, and you probably come across, I don't know, 10, 15 couples down there, all getting to know each other type of thing. Young late teenagers, early 20s. You even used to see a few older couples down there as well. I mean, you're going to take advantage of it, and there's no real lights down on the beach. Nobody's going to really see what you're getting up to down there. This is an interesting part of Barry. We've got the bandstand here, but this toilet block, this was before COVID. There was plans to turn this. It was going to have a big roof terrace on the top. It was going to be a big restaurant, a massive restaurant. Of course, it used to be a toilet block, but it's been sat here since COVID, since 2019. They've tried to save the roof. You can see they put plastic on the roof, but it's falling. It's very quickly fallen into a state of disrepair. You can see they've got some timbers there holding that whole side of that block up, but it's a grade 2 listed building, so they can't really, maybe to go over the top of this bridge here, they can't really do too much. They can't knock it down, that's for one. They gotta try and look after the damn thing. Yeah, there's the beach. So there's the nightclub. It's called View 62 now. It's more of like a music, vibes and views. In the summer, in the afternoons, on a Sunday afternoon, that place is packed, full of people listening to music, having a good time, having a drink. And there's the beach with the winter sun. So yeah, so we're making our way over there to do a quick beer review and quick kind of chat, Christmas chat. And there's that toilet block. Right, so okay, so I'll be back in a moment. Actually, I got a better idea. I'm not going to go over there, it's muddy. I am on the top of, so you can see in the distance there where we just were, that's the Gavin and Stacey shelter. This shelter here is a funny one because there's nothing under here, it's just an open shelter. But we're going to set up right here. Right, so a bit windy up here, but it wouldn't be Barry Island and it wouldn't be Gavin and Stacey if it wasn't for Barry Island IPA. Of course, not sponsored at all in this video, or Brains haven't sponsored this video. It's made by Brains Brewery and myself. Collaborated on this beer in 2012, 12 years ago. Bit shook up in my bag. Barry Island IPA glass as well, there we go. Right, so you can see we have the, chuck that there for a minute. You can see we got the beach behind us. The sun is just over there, and then of course you've got the whole of Barry Island behind me. So what's my story with Barry? I was born in 1979 in a place called Cadoxton in Barry. I still live in Cadoxton to this day. I've lived there for 45 years of my life, being 2024. But as a family, that's all right, that nice and hoppy. As a family, we'd spend summers on the beach, crabbing, fish and chips, that little kind of promenade thing you got there, I used to come down there, racing down there on my skateboard. This thing here used to be a cable car that used to take you over to Butlins, because we had Butlins just behind us as well. So we used to go in Butlins quite a bit. I think Butlins closed in 1998. My first ever job was a deck chair attendant. Just see these white things here. There used to be a little deck chair hut just under there. That was my first job I was 15 years old. I told the Vale of Glamorgan Council I was 16, and they gave me a job as a deck chair attendant. So I've been working in this town, around this town, from the age of 15. One of my other memories from Barry Island, I've told you all of my kind of nightclubbing things. I used to drink a lot of vodka Red Bull, double vodka Red Bulls. Of course, I was a completely different person back then. Completely different person to the person I am today. But I'm glad I did all of those things, really. I'm glad I did all of those things because it sculpts you. It makes you the person you are today. I've had a major car accident. I put a car on this roof. Ford Fiesta Mark II, Fiesta Flight, with the Fiesta Flight wheels. Put that on this roof, completely ruined that car. I had 4 people in the car as well, including myself. So that could have been, we all walked out, thankfully. We all walked out of that traffic accident decently. I was 17 years old when I crashed. It was my first car. Went sliding around in the wet, hit a bank, put the car up on its roof, slid down with the car on its roof, about 30 yards, and my hand was underneath the roof while the car was sliding. That was one of my other memories. Married, divorced, married again. I'm now a grandfather. I become a grandfather this year. My eldest daughter, who is now 20, she'll be 23 in February. Just had a baby boy, so this is a toast to him. His first year on planet Earth. Born in Barry, being raised in Barry. It's quite a... Now, other people, what I'd like to address here, other people like the people from the television series. To some extent, yes. I would say the closest interpretation is a bit of all of them, really. Bryn's quite an eccentric character. There's lots of eccentric characters in Barry. Stacey's very friendly. Stacey's an overly friendly person. Lots of people in Barry are overly friendly. I mean, look at me, I'm quite a friendly guy. If you meet me at beer festivals and stuff, you know, I'm quite a friendly person. Nessa, big kind of strong character. Yeah, of course, it's a town. We all have these characters in our towns, don't we? So I suppose, yeah, to some extent, of course, it's a TV series. It's being overly done, of course. But to some extent, yeah, the people of Barry are like that. I read somewhere actually this morning, it was one of the reasons why I decided to film this on a whim today, is that I read somewhere that it was by the weatherman, the famous weatherman. What's his name now? We have a famous weatherman in there, Derek Brockway, the famous weatherman. He lives in a place called Roos, which is about 4 miles away from here, and he was talking about Barry and whether Barry can be gentrified, like that kind of gentrification. He said no, but I'm going to disagree with him. Because a lot of the housing in Barry, let's go back to the beginning first. Barry started off as a town of little farm hamlets. Cadoxton, West End, and a place called Stumpy Lodge up near the Colcot. There were 3 pinpoints of Barry. Then David Davis come along in 1887. He decided to build a big dock. and it was the second highest tide off this channel is in the world. It's the second highest tide in the world off this channel, so it was an ideal place to build a dock. Barry built a dock and they started exporting coal all over the world. Up until the 1980s, when the whole Margaret Thatcher thing happened and all the coal mines collapsed. Barry went through a real turbulent time. Barry went through a terrible time. Gavin and Stacey's helped with that in regenerating the town, if you like. But we had some hard times here. It was tough growing up here. No doubt about it, it was tough. If you've been to Barry, you can see some tough parts of Barry. Indeed, I live in a tough part of Barry myself. But of course, building a dock, you need a lot of houses. I think in the space of 5 years, the population went from a few hundred people to something like 30 to 40,000 people in the space of a year. In the space of a few years, people moving in. You had people from Cornwall coming here, people from all over the place coming here to work. Place falls on hard times, but of course, it's a strange one, really. I mean, look at the headland here, for argument's sake. Some of them houses up there, they're worth like £600,000. Beautiful, kind of beautiful views over the bay. Lots of ex-council housing, where people had a lot of land on the side of their housing, so on the side of their houses, so they've been doing double-storey extensions. So the area of the Colcot in Barry has now been gentrified, more or less. That's like a really nice area. That used to be a rough council estate, not anymore. It's changing, it's definitely changing, it's definitely evolving. It's personally, I disagree with Derek Brock, where I think it is becoming gentrified, Barry, very slowly. It's taking its time, but I think it will happen. My future in this town, I must admit, I'm one of these people, I always moan about the place. I always moan about the place, and I always say I'm going to leave and I'm going to go somewhere else, and maybe one day I will. Will I live in this town all my life? I'm 45 now. I thought I would have been gone by now, to be honest with you. I was only having this conversation with a friend the other day who was thinking about moving to Spain, and he said the only reason he hasn't done it is because of this, really. It's quite a beautiful place. Nightclubs, bars, fish and chip shops, fairground, long beaches, go in the sea if you so wish. There's lots on our doorstep. Barry has lots of snooker clubs. I'm part of the Barry Snooker League as well, so I play snooker twice a week. So there's lots going on in this place, there really is. And I'm going to end it by saying I'm quite proud of the place. I'm quite a proud Barry person, if you like. So I hope you like this Christmas special. I'm going to end it with Stone the Crows. I hope you like the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special. It'll be on this evening, Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to you all. Happy New Year. Stone the Crows.